there was this moment this year where I just decided I am not available for that kind of language anymore. I'm not available for thinking that way. I am not available for those thoughts and that energy in my life because I am not her anymore. That is not me anymore. That is me several years ago, but that is not me now. And that's definitely not who I'm going into. That's not who I'm becoming in my life. It's me, Helena. I have no makeup on. I just got out of bed, put on a bathrobe, some kitty cat ears, got my coffee, and I wanted to talk a little bit unfiltered, completely off the cuff, spontaneous chit chat. Actually, last night I had a moment where yesterday I had all these little triggers pop up, and they were all kind of triggering my insecurities, little things that I'm currently working through and trying to eliminate and let go of in my life at the moment, and they were all kind of popping up and triggering me. After doing these 3 things, I feel like a completely renewed person. And these 3 tips are after you've felt the feelings. I'm a big believer that you need to feel your feelings and release them and allow them and process all the emotions on the entire emotional spectrum. We are humans, we are here to experience the full breadth of life, and that includes all the emotions. And so really allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling. If you need to cry, cry. We need to allow our emotions to be there. That's what it means to be human. And so that's the prelude to these first 3 steps. But make sure you're allowing your emotions and not judging yourself for feeling a certain way or feeling angry at yourself or like, why am I feeling this way? I'm so angry at myself for acting this way. Just give yourself some grace, have some compassion for yourself, and allow yourself to be where you are. But here are 3 things that you can do after that. After you've allowed your emotions, here are 3 things to do. First, you want to self-regulate your emotions. And you could do this in many ways. One of my favorite ways to do this is breath work. So I'll do some breathing exercises. I'll inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale for 7 seconds. I also will do that breathing technique where it's like inhale, hold, exhale out the other nose. So you could do many different breathing exercises where you're regulating your emotions, you're getting back to the body, back to presence, back to the physical container of you, and focusing on the breath. That's one way you could do it. The other thing you could do is affirmations. So I like to listen to affirmations to fun music when I'm biking or walking around or doing my chores. That's always fun, especially when it's someone who's recording affirmations in like a really feel good, empowered, or just genuinely a very confident, happy person. It's always fun to listen to affirmations from people like that. You can also do tapping, EFT tapping. EFT tapping is something I've talked a lot about on my other channel, which I'll include my second channel down below, Astrocartography with Helena. But I talk a lot about tapping. Tapping is a big thing that's changed my life, and it's something that really helps me get out of negative thoughts, spirals, fearful thoughts. Anytime fearful thoughts come up, I just do a quick 2-minute tapping. It gets a lot of that fear out of my body, and it's amazing what it can do. It's really fascinating. But the big thing, the really big thing that you can do in terms of self-regulation is getting into a hypnotic state. So you basically want to get into a low brain state, not in beta, which I'm in beta right now. Anytime we're thinking, talking, logically using our mind, we're in beta. But we want to get down to a low brain state where we're in that hypnotic state before sleeping, still conscious, but we're really tapping into that subconscious part of our brain that really starts forming memories between 0 and 10 years old in our childhood. And so by doing hypnosis work, meditation work, where you're getting into that low state where you're really relaxed, you're really peaceful, it's almost like you're floating, and you could reprogram your beliefs by either listening to affirmations. So I like to listen to affirmations sometimes when I'm sleeping. I love Dylan James on YouTube. He has a really great sleeping affirmations that sometimes I'll listen to them when I'm sleeping. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I am worthy and deserving of everything I want. I am so loving. I am a lovable person. I'll just start waking up literally saying those affirmations, or the first thought that I'll have when I wake up in the morning is literally like, I am a loving person, or I am so lovable. It's just fascinating. It's really, really cool. You could sleep on those affirmations just by putting putting in the headphones before you go to sleep, or you could do like a subconscious healing, reprogramming meditation right before I go to sleep, and I wake up feeling so fabulous. It's amazing. So that's step number one. You want to regulate your emotions. You want to self-regulate, and you want to get really good at being able to bounce back. Being able to bounce back from fear, insecurity, setbacks, challenges, anything where it's like you're being tested or triggered. You want to train your mind and your body to be able to bounce back quickly. Now, this doesn't mean you're ignoring emotions or bypassing emotions. We're not doing that. Again, we want to feel everything. However, we want to build resilience and the speed as to which we can get back into a neutral place. This doesn't mean we're reaching for positivity. This never means we're reaching for joy. We simply want to get back to a neutral, grounded place where we're in presence and we're aware of everything, and we're not looking at things as if they're good or bad, but rather it just is. Everything just is, and accepting and allowing the isness of the moment, accepting the suchness of the moment. The basic goal of self-regulating our emotions is we want to be able to do this for ourselves. So we don't put the power in someone else, like a coach or a therapist or someone else out there that we have to pay money to help us get back to a neutral place. We want to be able to teach ourselves how to do this for ourselves at any time. So if you're being triggered on the highway in your car, or something happens at work, or you're at home and your husband is annoying you, right? You want to be able to train your body and your mind to self-regulate yourself so that you can always bounce back to a neutral place. We simply want to get back to presence, neutrality, groundedness, and being the observer of our lives. And that all stems back to self-regulation. So breath work, tapping, meditation, subconscious work, anything like that, my best tip for self-regulation. Really, really helpful. And this brings us to step number 2, which is to decide. Decide who you are. Decide who you are becoming. The person that you were yesterday is not who you are today. The person who you were 6 months ago is not the person that you are now. And we first need to let go of our identity to anything from the past that we do not want going forward in our lives. And this is where we need that clarity, that knowingness of who do I want to be? Where do I want my life to go? What do I see myself living? How do I see myself living my lifestyle in the future? What is the direction of where I'm heading? And one of the things that I've found that really helps me is deciding this is who I am. This is what I'm available for. I am not available for this narrative anymore. This is not a story I'm replaying in my mind anymore. A few years ago, I posted a YouTube video where I was basically kind of sad and complaining about something, basically being a victim of my own life. And it's okay to allow the emotions, right? It's okay to feel that. It's absolutely valid and we should be feeling it. However, the cycling and the repeating of that story, the recycling of, oh, why is this happening to me? Why does this always happen to me? Why is this a constant thing that keeps happening? Why is this problem keep repeating? There was this moment this year where I just decided I am not available for that kind of language anymore. I'm not available for thinking that way. I am not available for those thoughts and that energy in my life because I am not her anymore. That is not me anymore. That is me several years ago, but that is not me now, and that's definitely not who I'm going into. That's not who I'm becoming in my life. And I think there's just this, it's almost like you have to cultivate a toughness where you have to realize I'm done with that bullshit. I am done with those beliefs. I am deciding to be a different version of myself. And there has to come a moment where you are just so sick and tired of that old version of self that you need to move through it. And that's where you decide. You decide, this is who I am. This is how I behave. This is how that version of me who I am becoming behaves. So how can I step into that? What is that version of myself doing, behaving, thinking about, feeling? How does she respond to this kind of situation? And, oh, it's getting a little dark in here. Let me redo this. Okay. And basically, you make those thoughts, that new behavior, those new habits, that your future version of yourself that feels so good to you and so authentic and aligned and is the true you deep underneath all these onion layers that we've cultivated with bad habits and bad thoughts, or not bad, but just limiting thoughts that we've repeated to ourselves over many years. We start peeling back those onion layers and we start finding the core of who we are. The core of who we are is just authentic, it's just honest. It's just true, it's present, it's connected to all living things, it's connected to life and people and love. It's love energy, right? When we start living from that place of who that person is, that energy is, in our day-to-day lives, we start to take different actions. We start to have different habits. We stop scrolling on our phones endlessly. We stop obsessing over other people's lives. Instead, we're really focused on cultivating our own lives and what we want for our lives and how we can best support other people in our lives. You know, we start living from that place of service because we've taken care of ourselves so much and we're so full and so ready to show up to the world that we are here and available for other people, that we can make a difference and uplift the consciousness, the collective consciousness. Everyone has shadow, everyone has wounds, everyone has insecurities, everyone has negative self-talk, okay? Not even the most confident, self-assured people are completely, shadow-free. We all have things to work on. It's just a matter of how quickly do you bounce back? And that stems from what tools do you have at your disposal that you can work on for yourself without going to someone else, without going to a coach or paying for someone to help you. What are your tools, right? So I have these tools that it's like when something comes up, I know how to work with it. I know how to move through it. I get my journal out, I do some tapping, I go in the shower, connect with my inner voice, I do a DI. I have my tools that I work with and I know how to use them, that when something comes up, I process the emotion, I cry, and then I go to my toolbox. It's that simple. But I know how to self-regulate my emotions and how to get back. And that's why my resilience is so strong. Even when I have setbacks or I have moments where I'm really insecure about something, it's like I'm able to come back at it. And now for number 3. And this is to focus less on yourself and to focus on other people. Oh my God, does this work? It's amazing. When you take the focus off of yourself, off of your own thoughts, your fears, your insecurities, and you start focusing on other people. How can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I give you attention? How can I be so fully present in my conversation with you that you feel so seen, so heard, and so loved? It's one of the millions of reasons why I love doing my work that I do. You guys know I'm an astrologer, an astrocartographer. That's my main job. And I do that. I do 3 readings a day. And I've noticed that every time I'm in a funk or a spiral, or I'm just not feeling so great, or I'm just like, I'm in that low energy, that victimhood energy, right? When I'm living in that place and then I have a reading, it's like every time I come out of my readings, my coachings, I feel so much better. Why? Because I devoted an hour of time to focusing completely on someone else, their life, their story, their problems, what they want out of life. And then I found solutions to help them. Focusing on other people, focusing on how you can serve, whether it's volunteer work, walking dogs at your local animal welfare organization, volunteering at a soup kitchen, making a YouTube video and finding ways to help other people, showing up for your friends, showing up for your partner, showing up for your family, and being a present and safe support system for them by allowing them to process their emotions and feel and talk about things that they're going through. And then just listening to them and being that empathetic ear and that listener, oh my gosh, that will get you out of your state, let me tell you. This is that missing piece. Focus less on yourself and focus more on other people and how you can help other people, how you can love other people. The self-help world, the self-development world, I love personal development. I always have. I've always loved personal development. But a lot of the self-help personal development world is really focusing on the self. Like self-betterment, self-care, and that's great. And I'm a big believer that you cannot help serve the world unless you are taking care of yourself. Everything goes back to yourself. However, there comes a point when you need to stop navel gazing or stop focusing so much on your shadow and your issues and healing yourself that you stop being present for other people in your life and you stop being present for the world and how you can serve the world. So those are my 3 tips on how to get yourself out of a funk. What are the 3 things that I do to self-regulate, to get back when I'm going through a hard time, when I'm going through limiting thoughts and fears and insecurities? And I hope that supports you. I just wanted to quickly make this video this morning before I get on with my day. My coffee is now cold. Don't forget to follow your heart and lead with courage, lead with your heart, and I hope you have a magical day. I hope this helps. Please let me know if this supported you. Let me know down below if there's any video topics you'd like me to touch on, if there's any videos you'd like me to make. I'm happy to share anything that would best support you in your journey. Have a magical day, kindred spirit, and I'll see you next time here on the channel. Bye.